The sideboard didn't move because something pushed it. It moved because the floor underneath it is softening. It's been 3 days since I noticed the gap. The wood floorboards around the basement frame are turning a dark, bruised purple, and they feel like damp sponge under my boots. The smell of wet copper is no longer confined to the hall. It's in my clothes, my hair, and God help me, I can taste it in the back of my throat every time I swallow. The midnight shift. Last night, the humming changed. It wasn't a rhythm anymore. It was a chord. Multiple tones vibrating at once, harmonizing in a way that made my nose bleed. I was sitting in my armchair, clutching a kitchen knife I knew wouldn't do a damn thing when the TV went to static. In the reflection of the black screen, I saw the sideboard. It tilted. One of its legs sank right through the floorboard like it was piercing a piece of fruit. The heavy oak groaned, and then came that sound again, that long, wet inhale. But this time, it didn't come from behind the door. It came from the vents. The invitation. I realized then that the hole in the basement wasn't a tunnel. It was a mouth. And the house was becoming the throat. I stood up to run for the front door, but my feet stuck. The carpet felt tacky, like flypaper. I looked down and saw a dark, oily substance seeping up through the weave of the rug. It wasn't oil. It was moving, pulsing in time with the thrum in my chest. "Leave," I croaked. My voice was a wet rattle. The house replied, not with words, but with a pressure in my skull that felt like a migraine made of static. "You are already home," it whispered into the marrow of my bones. The mirror. I forced myself to the hallway mirror, desperate to see a human face one last time. I shouldn't have looked. My skin was translucent. I could see my veins, but they weren't blue or red. They were black, flowy with that same oily shimmer I'd seen in the basement hole. My ribcage was vibrating so hard I could hear my bones clicking together. I'm not a person anymore. I'm a transition. The current state. The sideboard is gone now. It fell through the floor an hour ago, swallowed quietly into the dark. There's just a gaping, jagged maw in the center of my hallway. The air coming out of it is warm, feverish, and smells like a slaughterhouse. I'm sitting on the very edge of the sofa, the only piece of furniture that hasn't started to sink. The walls are beginning to pulse. The wallpaper is peeling back to reveal something that looks like muscle fiber. I can hear it climbing. Not with footsteps, but with the sound of wet leather dragging over stone. It's coming up to see what it has made of me. I'm holding my phone because it's the only thing left that feels solid. But even the screen is starting to ripple. If you are reading this and you see a fixer-upper for sale on the edge of town with a heavy oak sideboard listed in the furniture, don't stop. Don't even slow down, because I'm still here, and I'm so hungry.